So we continue with the sense organ eye, and we had already discussed about the defects also. Now we see some basic kind of property of the vision of the eye, and first thing is stereoscopic or binocular vision. So we can see something stereoscopic. That means we can easily concentrate on far off things, and we can concentrate on near things also, depending upon what you want to concentrate. We can always focus is that way, that we can have the clarity of that particular part of the image. So all monkey apes are particular humans can perceive depth or the relative distance of the object. This is due to the simultaneous focusing of an object in both eyes, and the image can be by their images by a kind of overlapping in the brain, giving the three-dimensional effect. So both the eyes give you the vision, and those vision are such that they can easily tell me that okay, this hand is far and this is nearer. So that gives you a three-dimensional kind of a feeling that in the brain. So that particular thing is called as the stereoscopic image. So we can do this. You can easily they are given you a particular kind of experiment which can be done. So what you can do is, just you have the pencil बोला है, मैं तो सिर्फ finger बोलता हूँ. Finger ले लो. You just place it over here, and first of all you look at the finger. When you look at the finger, the other background over there becomes blurred. The moment you are looking at the background, then the finger seems blurred. So accordingly you can see this is how we are uh, accommodating. So our eye size doesn't change, but you are able to see the difference in the vision what you have seen. So okay, then there are certain things so given over here for experimentation to check your eyes, for to find out some interesting thing about the eye, but of course not important in the point of view of the examination. And you can just for fun you can always see it. Yes, you can also check your eyes whether you have got color blindness or not. So this particular figure which is over here, if you are able to read that 25, 56, 45, then you are not colorblind, because for a colorblind person all these three figures will look like fourth one. So they will not be able to identify between the green and the colored blue color, red color, and that's why all the photographs over there, all the four of them will be seem to be like the fourth one. The next is after images, the basic of motion picture. In one look at a bright object for a moment and then a close of the eye, the sensation of light persists for a short period. In the same way, if one looks at a bright colored object and then looks at a dark surface, an image of the object in the same color will persist. This is known as persistence image or the after imaging. See, whenever you look at a bright image and you go to a darker image, you can see that वो ब्राइट इमेज का यहाँ पे थोड़ा बहुत इफेक्ट आ जाता है. वैसे ही डार्क इमेज से अगर ब्राइट में देखें तो डार्क इमेज का थोड़ा इफेक्ट आ जाता है. This particular thing is nothing but persistence. Okay, it is called as persistence of image. It is the image is going to be persisting. It is going to remain in your particular vision for some time. So that is called as the after image of that vision, and it is this principle that is allowing the motion picture, the cartoon films and everything to be made. Okay, because the persistence of vision means it is taking the eye to understand something 1/10 of a second. And all the images are seen by us in 1/10 of a second. So if any particular image is changed within 1/10 of a second, it comes to us as a continuous manner. Like for example, if you have seen the movie Tare Zameen Pe, so you can see that boy had made the Flickr book. So the Flickr book had got that he had made the first page in which there were mother, father, and the child together, and then he made some pages and pages of the same drawing, such that the boy was made apart every time, drawn a bit separate. And when you flicker it all together, you find that the three people are there, and that this just goes by. So you see as a continuous image. So the continuous image you see, because when you flicker the book, you are just taking the books and flickering it, you find that it is like a cartoon film, that the persistence of vision works over here, that the image which was there earlier is still in your mind, and then it goes to the next one and next one, and actually you feel as if it's a continuous motion. So this is exactly what happens in persistence of vision. So it lasts for about 1/10 of a second. This is the principle on which the technique of motion picture is based. In a movie picture, in a movie, pictures are projected on a screen at a rate of 24 pictures per second. But we cannot see the individual frame on account of the after image in our eye. The lifelike continuous movement on the screen is an illusion. So actually there are, you can say 24, it's 24 pictures per second. Okay, 24 pictures per second के motion से वो move हो रहा है, तो automatically we feel that वो 24 pictures नहीं है, वो एक continuous motion है because of the persistence of vision. So actually the television, I think it's just an illusion. It is actually too many pictures shown to you one after another. Television too is similar, where the scanning beam of the picture frame of the TV camera moves so rapidly on the viewing screen of the TV set that our eyes cannot keep pace with it. Out of the numerous other optical vision, two are shown at the end of this chapter. So they have given you some image this over here. There are certain illusions which are seen at the end of the chapter. You can see that thing later on. Okay, and so that was about the eye. So this was the end of the chapter, end of the first part of the chapter, that was eye. Now we see the next part of the chapter, that is the ear. So we now see the next part, the ear. See, most of the, everybody knows that ears are used for listening, hearing, that's right. But you will be surprised to know that there is one more function of the ear, and that is balance. Right. Our body balance, yes, it is taken care by the cerebellum. Yeah, body balance जो है वो उसमें है, cerebellum में है. But still, the equilibrium of the body is going to be sensed by the ear. The ear is not only for hearing, but there is also parts of the ear which is helping in having the static and the dynamic balance of your body. So dynamic and static balance of your body is maintained using the ear. So that's why ear, sense of hearing and balance. The human ear is concerned with two functions, hearing and body balance. It has three main divisions: outer ear, middle ear and inner ear. So the ear is divided into three parts: the outer ear, the middle ear and the inner ear. The outer ear consists of a projecting part, pinna. So yeah, again, normally not asked, up till now in boards not asked to draw the ear, but again the same thing, some prelim papers did ask you to draw the ear. So the diagram of the ear again will be important to at least labeling तो आ ही सकता है, इसलिए you need to know everything properly. But ear draw करना भी इतना difficult नहीं है. So let's go one by one, step by step, as we did in the eye. So same way we'll go here. So first part is the outer part containing the pinna and the auditory canal. So this one is the pinna and this is the auditory canal. Okay, so the outer ear consists of the projecting part, pinna, also called as auricle, and the passage auditory canal leading to the eardrum. So this is the eardrum. Eardrum, also called as the tympanum. So it's a eardrum. Okay, also called as tympanum. Then comes, so this one over here, from ear to ear is the outer ear. Okay, the outer ear is this part, pinna, auditory nerve and the tympanum. Second is the middle ear. The middle ear consists of three tiny bones, malleus, inus and stapes, or hammer and will stirrup, in popular terms, and in an Eustachian tube. So what we have over here is the next step, that will be the three bones, one like this, second one like this, and third one like this. You can just draw three figures like this, 1, 2 and 3 over here, and over here will be a Eustachian tube. So this part over here is the Eustachian tube. This is the malleus. This is incus and stapes. They are collectively known as ठीक है, मैं आगे थोड़ा ड्रॉ कर दूँ. Okay. So they are collectively known as ear ossicles. Okay, collectively called as the ear ossicles. Malleus, incus and stapes, or hammer, anvil and stirrup, which connect to the cavity of the middle ear with the throat. So in the popular name and a Eustachian tube, which connects the cavity of the middle ear with the throat. So the middle ear is over here, is connected to the throat. This is going to the throat. So this is the Eustachian tube over here, and this is the middle ear. The three bones are collectively called ear ossicles. That is the bones. Ear ossicles are the bones, little bones. The handle of the hammer bone is attached to the inner surface of the eardrum. So malleus ka yani hammer bone ka part is connected to the eardrum, that is the tympanum. Its opposite end is connected to the anvil, which is in turn is joined to the stirrup. The flat part of the stirrup fits on the so-called oval window, a membranous covered opening leading to the inner ear. So this is connected over here to the oval window. So over here will be the, I don't know, I may need some space for drawing, so that's the issue over here. This is the oval window. In case I need to draw something, I'll just erase the labelings over here. Labelings over here may be erased, or might put somewhere upwards. Yeah, so this is connected to the oval window, a membrane opening leading to the inner ear. The second opening, the round window, also covered to the thin membrane, connects the middle ear and the inner ear. So there is one more, which is the round window over here, which is oval window and the round window, which are going to be connecting the middle ear to the, so from here onwards you are going to have the inner ear. Okay, so what we learned was the pinna, auditory canal, the eardrum or the tympanum, connected to the three bones, which are the malleus, incus and stapes. Stapes ka end is connected to the oval window, and there is also a round window. The inner ear or membranous labyrinth, inner ear is also called as membranous labyrinth, has two main parts, the cochlea and the semicircular canals. The cochlea is a spiral shaped and looks like a snail shell. It has 2.5 turns. Its inner winding cavity is divided into 3 parallel canals separated by a membrane. So here over then it is connected. So this is connected to a cochlea. So the cochlea is like this. Okay, this is the cochlea with 2.5 turns. So there will be something like this where it is connected here like this. So this is the cochlea, and this cochlea is then connected to the auditory. So this is cochlea. This is the auditory nerve. Okay, and so the round window and oval window are connected to the cochlea. which is connecting here, and then there will be the this auditory nerve is for the cochlear part, so the cochlear auditory nerve, and then there will be the parts which will be for the balance. Now the balance part over here, they are like this, they are just like this, they are going to be coming over here like this, and then there will be a part of semicircular canal. So this will be one canal, then the second one, and the third one like this. So the three axes x, y and z, उसके लिए तीन canals है, and the utricals over here and sacculus over here, and this is connected to the again the auditory nerve, which is for the balance. So that part is the one for the auditory nerve. So you can have a clear picture of what is there over here in this particular picture, that the three hammer anvil stirrup connected to the oval window and the round window, and then the three semicircular canals, and then the cochlea is over here connecting to the auditory nerves. So yeah, so coming back to this part, so this is the inner ear. So inner ear containing the cochlea, the semicircular canals over here, and the auditory nerves. Now, inside the cochlea, there are three parts. Okay, there are three parts in the cochlea. So the cochlea is divided into three parts. So the cochlea is a spiral shape and looks like a snail shell. It has 2.5 turns. Its inner winding cavity is divided into three parallel canals separated by membranes. That is, in median, that is the cochlear canal, that is 2, is filled with a fluid called endolymph, and the other two, 1 and 3, are filled with the perilymph. So endolymph in the second region, and 1 and 3 has got perilymph. The middle canal contains areas possessing sensory cells, spiral organs called organ of Corti. So if I see this particular figure, so if this is the cross section of the cochlea has got three regions like this. So so it will be three regions like this. This is 1, 2 and 3. So the second part over here, this part over here, it contains the endolymph, and this too contains perilymph. And apart from the endolymph, it also contains some sensory cells for the hearing, and that are called as the organ of Corti. So they are the sensation for hearing. The nerve fibers arising from these cells join the auditory nerve. The sensory cells lie on the basilar membrane. The other part of the inner ear is set of three semicircular canals, which are arranged at right angles to each other in three different planes, so that one is horizontal, the other is vertical, and one end of each canal is widened to form an ampulla, which contains sensory cells for dynamic balance. So while the body is in motion, and nerve fibers from them join the auditory nerve. So there will be three canals, one as I told you, x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. वैसे जगह पे एक sensory, एक semicircular canal ऐसे, एक ऐसे. They are all perpendicular to each other. वैसे करके तीन like this. You can consider this one like this one like this, and this one like this. So all three perpendicular for the length, breadth and height. वैसे करके three sides के dimensions के लिए तीनों sides के लिए we need the dynamic balance. So that is the thing. What is the and then there is a wider part, which is the ampulla, and from there goes the sensory cells into the auditory nerve. The short stem joining the base of the semicircular canals to the cochlea shows two parts, the utricals and sacculus. So this one connecting to the auditory canal over here is to the cochlea over here. This part over here. This part has got two parts, which is the utricals and sacculus. Utriculus and sacculus. These two parts also contain sensory cells for static balance. So semicircular canals for dynamic balance. Semicircular canals for dynamic balance. And for static balance is the utricals and sacculus. These parts also contain sensory cells for dynamic balance, static balance when the body is stationary as in standing position. So now we can understand that when you are, एक आदमी अगर समझो ऐसे राउंड 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 घूमते जाएगा तो क्या होगा, वो बच्चे जो करते हैं ना उसके बाद क्या होता है, दे जस्ट लाइक स्टम्बल लाइक दिस. व्हाई? बिकॉज व्हेन दे डू सो द लिक्विड फ्लूइड व्हिच इज देयर इन द सेमी सर्कुलर कैनल्स और इवन द यूट्रिकल्स एंड ऑल, दे तो वो क्या हो गया, दे विल बी कंटिन्यूसली इन मोशन एंड बिकॉज दे आर मोशन दे आर नॉट स्टेडिंग डाउन. सो टिल दे आर नॉट स्टेडिंग डाउन द बैलेंस, दैट इज द स्टैटिक बैलेंस, इज नॉट अचीव्ड. So that's why after a merry-go-round or somebody, when we merry-go-round या कुछ करने के बाद में जब बाहर उतरते हैं तो you are still balancing yourself. Why you are balancing yourself? Because your fluid which is there in the utricals and the seculars are still not stable. They are not still come to the normal level, and that's why you are feeling that that dizzy feeling या तो चक्कर आने का जो होता है वो दिखता है. So that is about the balance part. Now. The function of the ear. So we now see the functions of the ear. Okay, we first see the parts which are there in the diagram. So in the diagram we can see over here whatever we are already marked is the pinna, auditory canal and ear drum in the outer ear. Middle ear में ear ossicles, hammer anvil stirrup or malleus incus stapes. Oval window, round window and inner opening of the Eustachian tube. And the inner ear में semicircular canals, utricle, seculus and cochlea. Okay, then you see the functions of the ear. I'll just check up the timing. I think I can complete the chapter in this video. So function of the ear, the inner ear is involved in two sensory functions, hearing and body balance. Yes, the inner ear, this part, there's two parts. The green part, that is the, so I think it was too shabby to draw. It can be taken this way. Okay, so these are the, this part over here is the seculars and the utricles, and these are the semicircular canals, and connected to this are the auditory nerves. Okay, so we see that the pinna, so how do we hear? The pinna collects the sound waves and conducts them through the external auditory canal. They finally strike on the eardrum which is set into vibration. So what happens? The sound waves enter over here and hit the eardrum. So pinna collects the sound waves, puts it into the auditory canal and hits the eardrum. So eardrum starts vibrating. The vibration of the eardrum gives out the vibration of the hammer. The hammer ka vibration sets up the vibration in the incus, that is anvil, and then the stirrup. So accordingly, what the three bones are doing is amplifying the vibrations. Okay, the three bones are amplifying the vibrations so that can be easily sensed in the cochlea. Yeah, so they finally strike into the eardrum which is set into vibration. The Eustachian tube equalizes the air pressure on either side of the eardrum, allowing it to vibrate freely. Now, over here you can see that this is blocked. So, इसके आगे अंदर ना कुछ जा सकता है ना कुछ बाहर निकल सकता है. So, therefore, this and at the same time, if something is under pressure when it is vibrating, तो उसको दोनों साइड से opening चाहिए, दोनों साइड से same pressure चाहिए. You cannot have one pressure higher. Then what will happen? It will just be bent on one side. So, that's why you need a pressurizing equalizer. So that's why the Eustachian tube which is connected to the throat is connected over here, so that the pressure outside ear and pressure from inside is the same, so it is free to vibrate. The lymphanum becomes free to vibrate because the Eustachian tube balances the pressure from outside and inside of the eardrum. The vibrating eardrum sets the three ossicles also into vibration. The vibration of the last ossicle stirrup is magnified due to the lever-like action of the first two ossicles. The vibrating stirrup transmits the vibration to the membranes of the oval window, which in turn sets the fluid contained in the cochlear canal also into vibration. So that's right. So you can see that this vibration brings up the vibration in the oval window, which brings up into the cochlear region also to vibrate. Accordingly, this particular perilymph and underlymph जो भी है वो भी vibration में आ जाएंगे. तो so the vibrating movement of the fluid stimulates the hair-like processes of the sensory cells of the cochlea in the spiral organ, and the impulses are transmitted to the brain via the auditory nerve. The different areas of the cochlear canal are suited to sound of different pitches. Most of the sound we hear are combination of vibrations at many different rates of speeds. That is, of different pitches. We cannot pick up vibrations of all rates of speed frequencies. Our sensory endings can receive only those from 20 to 20,000 hertz. But the most keen heard sound are those of frequencies between 1000 and 4000 hertz. The dogs can perceive sound of even higher frequencies. So that is what we see, that the frequencies which are going to be there. So cochlear के different region में different kinds of sounds का जो ये वो perceive होता है, and that it is sent to the brain. We can see, actually the human beings can hear the sound level from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. But normally between 1000 to 4000 is the most prominent one which we hear the most. Next function is the balancing. As the head is turned in different direction, the fluid inside the semicircular canals is also shaken. The moving fluid in the canals pushes against sensory hair cells, sending the nerve impulses to the nerve fibers attached to them to the brain via the auditory nerve. So when we move our head like this, so क्या होगा, ये जो semicircular canals है उसके अंदर जो fluid है, it will start moving, and that will be sensed by the auditory canal and auditory nerve and be sent to the information to the brain. The sense cells in the semicircular canals are concerned with the dynamic equilibrium when the body is in motion. Similar sensory patches are located in the utricals and sacculars, which register the static positional balance with respect to gravity. So yeah, so this is the utricals and sacculars will be detecting the static balance, whereas the semicircular canals will take care of the dynamic balance. So that's what they are given here. If you spin around, round and round, the fluid of the semicircular canals continue to spin for a short time even after you stop and you feel dizzy, and at the same time your eyes perform to and fro movements caused due to stimulation of semicircular canals. Seasickness, air sickness and car sickness are often due to these unusual sensations of the equilibrium. So that's how we see the chapter. Yeah, this was over the chapter sense organs. So we saw the eye and the ear. Of course ear के अंदर का diagram normally तो आता नहीं है, कभी आएगा भी नहीं normally. But yes, you need to know the labeling properly. Okay, so labeling of the ear is very important. So as you see, the ear has got two functions. One is to hear something, and second one is to balance. So that is the dynamic balance, and and the static balance done with the help of the semicircular canals and the utricals and sacculars. So this is the end of the chapter sense organs from bio. Thank you.